And go.
Thank you for listening. This is Paul.
And this is Chris.
And this is Mark Downing.
And you're listening to the Diesel Performance Podcast
Live. Where are we today?
Ultimate Call-Out Challenge in Brownsburg, Indiana.
2018.
2018.
How has it been so far, Paul?
It's fucking crazy. There's a lot of shit breaking on the track.
Yep.
So just first up, we've seen some guys have some trouble racing, which is very standard for UCC.
And the qualifiers on the dyno. There's been a couple, back-to-back carnages happening.
Yeah, absolutely.
The DPI Expo? Oh my God.
Yeah, that's pretty much consumed a majority of our morning, hasn't it?
Yeah. We did a couple interviews earlier. We're going back and forth. I'm facing the expo right now, and now from a couple hours ago, night and day difference. A couple hours ago, I was impressed. Now I can't believe there's this many people in one spot wanting and willing to enjoy diesel.
Yeah, we got lucky. We came and commandeered a suite up on the fourth floor of the media tower, so we have a really good bird's eye view of the whole facility here. Now, as I turn around and I look over the expo, it's getting hard to find concrete. It's people intense.
Yeah, there's no concrete. Yeah. What do you think? What do you think, Mark? You drove or you flew? You flew a good amount of. Yep. You've been up in our neck of the woods a couple times with your truck. We've done some interviews in the past,
a few times anyway.
A little bit. What do you think of the expo so far? What do you think of the event?
It's awesome. Everything's great. All the vendors are nice. Displays are great. I mean, it's awesome. It's everything I could expect.
Yeah, Mark, we wanted to bring you on the show just for that point, actually. Generally, we pull up competitors and qualifiers and vendors, but you're just a fan. You're somebody who took time out of your day and your work and your life to come out to the show. Why?
I enjoy it. I love the diesel scene.
First off, he's got a badass truck. Okay, he's going to be here next year, 2019.
I don't know about all that. I'll be here to watch again, sure. I worked my ass off getting corn and beans planted just so I could be here. I was planting beans at 10:30 yesterday morning right before I got on the plane. So
right down to the wire.
Labor of love.
Got to do it.
That's it, though. Well, I think that points out the passion people have for this. Even if you're not a competitor, even if your truck's not here to actually race, you still want to be here. You still want to see what the fuck is going on.
See all the new shit that's coming out. See, everybody's hard work. And, I mean, it shows. I mean, it's here.
There's a lot of stuff. The beginning of the year, all these companies, like, new products, new release, new this, new that. And then those vendors are here with a booth. You have the best of the best in the industry. You're able to see everything front and center. And then you're able to see badass racing, badass dyno runs. Like, day one, the qualifiers, and then the actual main event. It's insane.
Yeah. Yeah, it really has been wild. What's been one of your favorite highlights here so far, Mark?
Getting away from work. No, just seeing everything come together. I've got a shop in Virginia, so I deal with a lot of the manufacturers here. So getting to put a face to the names, that I generally just talk to on the phone, that's been nice. And everybody I've ordered parts from this week, I'd be like, "You going to UCC? Yeah, I'll be there. Come hit me up." So it's been great.
Absolutely, yeah. Great time, great people.
It has.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sitting at the booth, me and Mark, we were chatting, and all these people are coming up and like, "You're Chris. Where's Paul? Where's or like, some of the other guys that work with us. They're like, "Hey, Chris, this guy, whatever." So it's really cool. These guys are fans. You're reaching out. You want to shake my hand. You want to talk. I'm not that important. I'm really not that special. But it's really cool how receptive everything is as a whole.
Well, when we were walking over here, we walked by the food court and somebody was like, "Hey, I love the podcast."
Yeah.
They recognize you. From that.
It is really wild, actually. So it happened to me last year with Kelsey Epp. I was walking down one of the aisles talking to somebody else. All of a sudden, somebody turns around and is like, "I know that voice."
You have a very distinctive voice.
My dreams.
For sure. Daily basis.
Kelsey, I believe, was already on the dyno, actually. I'm pretty interested to jump online here and look up and see what some of the numbers are.
Or we just grab her.
Yeah.
Get her on for an interview.
It's a great point. Her and Ryan Pfaff from Canada.
Do both same time?
Oh.
Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows what we could organize?
It's just crazy. Like, there, the qualifiers, right? There is a line of trucks just waiting to get on the dyno.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
So much this is just action. Qualifying,
Yeah, right. So much action just in one spot.
I was going to say, it's only noon. Yeah. Right? Like, we're here until 9 o'clock tonight.
There's actually been a couple fast trucks that ran. I mean, the first truck come at the gate run like an 840. Yeah. Chevy with a Cummins in it. I mean, it was
some bad motherfuckers.
Nice. They're cooking. What are you looking forward to, Mark? What do you think is going to be the highlight of your weekend here at the show?
Definitely the drag racing in the dyno, because I love drag racing myself. So just looking to see, everybody step their game up, and everybody's going to go out for the biggest number to see, what stays together and what doesn't.
Yeah, we talk so much
We
about
all know
strategy.
from experience about that.
Yeah.
It doesn't always stay together.
And that's what it came down to, Chris. You know, as we were interviewing people, getting ready for the show, everybody said rule number 1, stay together.
Yep.
Rule number 2, it's not really necessarily what the other guys do. You just got to have enough points to play.
Yes.
Right? Make it to the top 5. Even Levon himself wasn't saying, I'm going to go out there and guarantee I have the fastest truck.
Yes.
Like, that was not a part of his plan. And we saw him run a great pass in 840 this morning. I
ran
just saw
8-1 out the gate.
8-1. I'm sorry,
8-1,
8-1.
yeah.
And then I see him down here just walking around the track, checking things out. It's
I would. There's no
very
reason.
calm atmosphere
There's
between
no
the
reason
competitors.
to pull the truck back out and run it again unless there's someone that's creeping up on his time. At that point, then you take it back out, you regroup, and go again.
Yeah.
And you got to give them credit. I mean, they are as composed as it gets
Yeah.
when it comes to competing in an event.
Oh, the
I mean,
fire
there's-
pump crew?
Oh, my God.
The whole crew is just calm.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Which is ridiculous because
Yeah.
we know how stressful this bullshit
Oh, yeah.
is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But making it look easy, right?
Now you're starting to see, we're starting to get a little rain here in Brownsburg, and the guys are exiting the bleachers. The expo guys are getting under some of the tents. So hopefully it seems like it's just passing over.
Yeah, it looks like
but-
it's just a small shower.
We came inside at the right
No,
time.
we came at the right time.
Oh, yeah.
My hair's done. I don't want to get wet.
I won't leave a comment on that.
Thanks.
So I will say one of the other big parts of this entire weekend is that final ceremony coming
Right.
up on Sunday, right?
Right,
Where
right.
we're going to see what qualifiers actually made the top 10 or top 5 and are going to be guaranteed a spot to compete next year. We're going to see what competitors really shake down, who held together, who kept it the whole weekend and kept their wits about them. What are the predictions, guys? Who are we thinking looks good early on?
I'm going to let you start off.
I mean, you can't hold back the fire pump crew. I
No.
mean, it's just every event they go to, they bring everything they have,
Yeah, they
plus
kill it.
20% more. I mean, it's just, it's hard to beat. It's always going to be exciting to see what Sean Baca does, to see what kind of number he puts down.
I mean, it was crazy. That truck, for anyone, you see it in the magazines, right? But to see it in person, it's definitely a
yeah.
different truck, right? It has a different
Attention
character
detail
to it.
is
Yeah.
insane.
And,
And he run like a
9.2.
920 and it didn't even
9.2.
shift into
No.
overdrive.
Like,
Yeah.
that's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
It really is. And
just so many people's trucks here, it's just.
and it's crazy. You look at someone like
Derek
Baca.
Rose's truck. I mean,
Derek
I've always
Rose's
liked
truck.
that truck.
Yep.
It's always been a runner.
And not that I want to, I want to touch on Baca just a tad more. He did fairly decent last year.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And he didn't run a pass worth talking about, in my opinion, right?
Oh, totally. Yeah,
And then
he
he runs
agrees.
a 9.2.
Right.
Yeah. Runs a 9.2. So if that's what he's able to do here, right,
Well,
this day.
I mean, when we interviewed him, he says he's worked out the transmission
Yeah.
issues, and that's
Yeah.
what he fought all year last
Yeah.
year. This year,
Right.
he went to a whole new setup.
Yeah.
He's very confident. He's got it
was,
dialed
but
in.
he backed it up, and that's where I'm getting at. He backed it up here today.
Yeah.
He probably is going to back it up on the dyno tomorrow. He's always been confident. He's always made a big number. And then, the truck has the wheelbase to do some damage on the sled pull. So I think he might be the
absolutely.
underdog, in all honesty.
I definitely believe that. I think everybody knows that name and talks about the horsepower and talks about how the truck's a dyno queen. It
Yep.
can't actually compete. Here he is today actually competing.
no, he is.
I think Tony Burkhart, if he can get a good run, I saw them pulling his truck around actually on our
Yes,
way over
on
here.
a flatbed.
Yeah.
On a flatbed.
Yeah.
Well, they have,
We'll see. We'll see what happens there.
We have
right?
a guy kind of local to me, Mike Graves from Holly Rock Diesel.
Oh, yeah.
And he's he's a competitor or
He's a
qualifier?
competitor.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
a competitor,
He was top,
yeah.
I think he was number 6 last year overall.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I may be wrong, but I believe he's the fastest Duramax on Allison in the country. I believe
that.
running on
Yeah,
Allison
on an
in
Allison,
a crew cab
yeah.
truck. It's impressive.
It's impressive
to see
to
what
say
For
that.
years, by the way.
Yeah.
For years, he's been like that. Yeah, I think he'll put on a really good show. I know last year was the first time he ever hooked to a sled.
Right.
So we know he's got at least one pass for experience.
Yeah, that's right.
Tony Burkhart, if he can get a good
I mean, if he
drag
needs me to
strip
drive
down.
it for him, I will. I've been pulling a lot. I'm just saying, Mike.
Chris Budahar from Truck Source Diesel is here. He's
Yep.
a big NHRDA racer. I would not count them out early. I think that they're going to show up and they're going to compete. Armor Inc., Donovan Harris,
Yep.
big competitor. I think there's a lot of big swinging dicks out here today.
There is. There really is. And
It's going to be a good show.
it's crazy. You go out into the pits, these guys in their camps, they're literally working their asses off to get the truck together perfected just so they can make it down the track.
Yeah, are we going to talk about Merchant at all?
What is there to say about Eric? We had the luxury of dealing with him for the majority of the week at our shop. He ran into...
Anybody who knows Eric knows why
Yeah.
that's funny.
I love Eric. Eric's a good guy through and through, but he ran into some difficulties. That guy is dedicated. He literally got probably like a 30-hour job done in a night.
Yeah.
Right, working on his truck. Come to find out that it was a minor setback, and it wasn't to the extent that he thought it was. It was something very minor. And they're here today, and he's running the truck. I know that Bob Peterson over at Duramax Tuner was tuning the truck, getting it dialed in so that, he'd be able to make it down the track, hopefully in one piece.
Yeah. It'd be really interesting to see Eric's run. I know Eric wasn't coming out to win.
No.
Eric was coming out just to compete and have some fun with it. So I'm really excited to see that
What's
one
the
put it
setup
down.
on that truck?
It's an S4 hunted over like a GT55.
Yep.
It's an LBZ based,
Oh,
like
yummy.
a 0102 Duramax. Big injectors, big pump setup. The truck is definitely an attention to detail. It was over at the guys over at WC Fab getting all the work done over the last few weeks. It's got a really cool compound setup that are remote mount on the passenger side of the truck.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
So
it
uses
is
Jason's
super
remote
cool.
mount setup,
Yes.
but uses twins with it.
But yeah, the small turbo
Oh,
underneath,
nice.
GT55 over it. It's an attention to detail, in my opinion. You look at it, you can't help but appreciate it.
Well, what was funny is when we asked him about the setup, when we interviewed him before the truck was ever even together, he downplayed it so much. He's like, "Oh, we're just gonna bring the truck that's in the
Yeah.
corner of the shop.
No,
It's
and-
no big
no,
deal.
hold on.
We're just gonna pull that thing, dust it
But
off,
it
and
was
bring
a truck in the corner of the shop.
Yeah.
It was a motor that he had just sitting around that he had it quote unquote gone through that wasn't perfect, and he said we're going to run it anyways.
Yeah.
He used some of the companies that he works with to get injectors and pumps and things like that, and he went to Jason for what, in my opinion, one of the most impressive Duramax twin turbo setups or compound setups.
Oh, it's a
out.
beautiful truck.
It's
I mean,
gorgeous.
underneath the hood, the entire thing, like you said, attention to detail, I think really wraps that one up.
And
And
another thing too, a couple of the shops that we have interviewed, it was, it's just an extra truck, or it was just extra parts. Tony Burkhart, perfect example.
The last minute hooker. Yeah.
Eric Merchant, and then
Yep.
you see these trucks, and they're like, what the hell do you do on a daily basis if these are just trucks in the corner?
Right, right, right.
Like
It's
it's
Everybody
insane.
else, there's nothing last minute about it.
No,
I mean,
exactly.
It's,
It's like, we just decided. It's like, hey man, I want to get on your level one day.
and man, is everything clean out there?
I know.
Oh my God.
I know. It's again, that's that attention to detail.
HSP truck sitting over there is just
Gorgeous.
Just gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean, the screaming diesel
Durburb
trucks,
and his
everything.
black dirt. Oh my god.
Yeah, the GDP truck, actually, with the Cognito lift.
Yeah,
over the
yes,
Cognito booth. I know
yes.
it's GDP and all, but which we like the guys at GDP.
I mean,
Barry's
honestly,
a great guy.
there's a lot of vendors here that I don't deal with directly, right?
Sure,
And
or even direct
Right.
competitors.
And I can't help but appreciate and respect what they brought.
Yeah.
The engines on the stands. We deal with Whirly, but there's the SDP, there's HSP. They have their direct competitors for Whirly. They have badass kits. Again, the powder coating, the attention to detail, the fab work. I'm staring at SDP's booth right now.
Yeah.
And that's why you can't stop saying SDP.
It's all.
It is amazing.
It is.
I will say that. Waggler's
honestly,
here.
Oh yeah, I
Banks
love that
Power is
engine
here.
setup, that new Duramax they got.
Yep.
I haven't been by Waggler's booth yet. I saw the booth, but
that
it's
is a
been packed the
sexy
entire
piece of
weekend.
machinery right there.
I mean, every wheel vendor
Oh man.
is here. You want to
Yep.
get a badass set of 22s or 24s, you can get that here. You want to buy lift pumps, you could literally build a truck here today.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I mean, I even hate to say this, but did you see the truck at the Power Stroke Performance booth? The what is it?
I
The
did. Our booth
the
is
Ford
very
Performance right next to that. That white
Our booth
regular
is
cab.
right close there.
This
It's
is some
gorgeous.
impressive work on that
Gorgeous.
truck.
Got to meet Art Martinez, who's been a
Yep.
friend of the show for a long
Yep,
time,
yep.
along with Steven Peters, 6-liter guys.
Yep.
Actually saw a 6-liter I liked, Chris.
No, that's a lie.
It's right next to our booth.
Yeah, the white one.
The white one.
Yeah, that's
The-
what
I
I
mean,
was
I'm
just
just
talking
surprised-
About.
That's
Yes.
what you're talking about. Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised on the air you're admitting that you like the 6-liter.
I didn't
I did
say I
too.
would buy it or build it.
No,
or
but you
whatever.
said you liked it,
No, I liked
so
it. It looks awesome.
It does look
It's a win.
awesome.
Yeah.
It's a win.
Yeah, it's a win for the Ford guys. Big shout out for the Ford guys. A couple of little insights here. We're going to have Tim Anderson from TNA Performance on
Yep.
to talk about 7.3s, something he has been pestering me about for a long time.
We're going to have a 6-liter expert,
Yes.
Jaron Holder.
Jaron
from
Holder.
Performance.
I'm really excited for that one.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there is another surprise coming. Gentleman's Truck was discussed on the Diesel podcast with Patrick. We're actually going to have him on.
Very cool.
So Mr. Moss is going to be coming down. Truck is over at the campground right now, waiting for a trans. But yeah, so we got some really good interviews lined up for you guys. Of
course,
we
I'm the
are
favorite.
going to be pulling.
No, you're always the
competitors.
favorite, Mark.
I
You're
mean,
always
you
the
know,
favorite.
That's why we got you first. bro.
You're the one that I have for the
Exactly.
reckless
Except the guy
stories.
before.
You wait till the night.
to my bosses, I don't know what you're talking about.
The big guy from Virginia made you do it.
Yeah, dude. Hey, you know what, man? I don't know. We were in a different state, different zip code. That's all I know. I'm sorry.
Zip, area code, everything is different.
Different
Almost
time zone. For us, it's a different time
Yeah,
zone. So.
yeah. For me, it's not. I'm just
Yeah.
at the line.
Yeah, man.
So
Cool.
Well, that's awesome. Well, guys, thanks so much for listening. This is Paul Wilson.
And this is, well, Mark, you go first.
Yep, this
I'm
is
gonna
Mark
sign
Downing.
off. And this is Chris Hemke.